Hello there, and welcome to the New Dimension podcast, which is at this time I have not come up with a name yet for it yet. That was a weird way to say it, but whatever. Before we get started, I would like to thank Prisoner TV for the idea of creating a podcast because I gotta admit, I'm sort of copying him because he was also going to do one on his channel, and then I decided to do one as well. Today, we are here with a non-magician, which I wish I could call a normie because that'd be funny, but he's not because he's a weeb. And he has a really awesome YouTube channel where he makes really good content called The Redhead Ninja, where he made explosive pizza and it was beautiful. And we're here to discuss questions about magic that may be interesting to have a non-magician answer, I guess. All I ask is for you, Redhead Ninja, to answer all these questions honestly because I want to hear the true opinion. So you're over there, right?
Yep, I'm over here. Thank you for having me on the podcast. Happy to be here. I'm a non-magician. My best card trick is showing people a card, get them memorized, and I lift that exact same card back up. It's more a comedy sketch. So, complete outsider.
Yeah. I think you've watched some Fool Us, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, then there's Fool Us, but that kind of doesn't really tell you anything.
All right. So let's get started here. I'm going to start with the very first question. When you hear the word magician, what do you think people think of that word, basically? What's the first thing that comes to people's heads?
Well, for me at least, I think a guy in a suit, probably with like one of those coattails behind it, top hat, and some gloves. Usually with a black wand, white top. But nowadays it's kind of shifting due to, the fact that I've been around a magician, cough you a bit more. As well as watching Fool Us, where now it's kind of just like someone who's an entertainer, but also very, I don't know how to describe it, more like mysterious. There you go, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is you started out thinking of the stereotype, and now that you're more and more into stuff, you kind of realize more is that there's so many different characters that come with magic, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not just always cutting people in half.
All right, so my next question was going to be about what do you think the stereotypes are of magicians, but we kind of just covered that, right?
Oh, I guess so. Sorry about that.
But no, that doesn't matter. That was a good answer. So we'll just skip right past that. And what do you think the best and worst thing about magic would be?
Well, let's start off with the worst. Start negative, go positive. That's how I work. So, the worst part is probably those who are actually using it for negative means, like trying to actually trick people into thinking that they're magical.
Oh, that's cool.
Using that to be able to, get people to sleep with them, stuff like that. You want to use it to try to entertain people, not to use it for your own personal gain, from how I see it.
Oh, I see. So basically you're saying is like when people are trying to like be I don't know how to explain it, but I get kind of what you're saying, but like the kind of people that are like, oh, I'm the guy who does the magic tricks, I'm the cool guy. I don't know how to explain it, but kind of like that, right?
Yeah, people who are like overly confident about themselves.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, which is actually, I would say, is actually something that comes with a lot of newer magicians. They tend to be like, oh, I'm the cool guy now because I'm, the magician and I can do card tricks. I could do like 3 card tricks and blow everybody's mind away. That kind of thing, right?
Yeah. But personally, I think the best thing about it is how it can bring smiles to people's faces, just liven people up. Yesterday, I went to this dry grad, and there was a hypnotist, which is obviously a type of magician, and everyone had so much fun, and he just lightened the mood of the whole room. It was amazing.
Yes. It's awesome.
So I think that's the best part.
So what do you think about magicians as a person, like on a personal level, rather than like a magician level, I guess?
On a personal level? Well, I don't really know too many. So I guess it kind of depends on how they're. But how I see it is that they seem to have a pretty
assumed they would be
positive
like.
attitude. Pardon me.
What would you assume they would be like? I guess.
They seem to have a very positive and outgoing personality, but keep their secrets to themselves, as per why they do magic.
Yeah. I guess that's a fair enough answer. Okay, so this is a good one right here. Do you think magic could ever become popular, like ever?
Well, technically, it's already pretty popular, so I think you need to elaborate more on, what you mean by popular.
Like, do you think that in general, like, people ever, I guess, start respecting the art and it would become like, and at one point, I think it has a potential to become a trend, I guess.
Will it ever become a trend? Almost everything will become a trend, and it really depends who kind of starts it up. Like, obviously, making something more mainstream really helps. Kind of like you already called me a weeb, but how anime is becoming more mainstream due to how it's being accepted and stuff like that. I think
Definitely
Magic can have the same thing happen if there's just some sort of push. Like, I don't know, kind of what happened on YouTube with all these big YouTube creators doing anime-based stuff. But something happened with Magic in the same way. Some fun personalities doing something interesting and new with Magic on YouTube, bringing it to the limelight, thus making people inspired to do more and more Magic.
Wonder who that would be.
I don't know. Maybe you could be the up and coming, forerunner of it. Sean,
I doubt that, but
I mean,
things can happen. All right. So, if you were to go to a magic show, what would you expect from the magic show? I guess.
Well, I guess it depends on the what they say the magician is. But normally, due to the past few magic shows I've been to, for some reason my mind automatically goes hypnotist. Past two magic shows I've gone to have been hypnosis shows.
That's
But
interesting.
But if it weren't for this past two, I'd probably say I'd expect something like start off with some fun little card tricks, entertain the audience, and then from those card tricks, bring out a bigger trick to be able to bring to the climax, and then slow but surely work it down after making some funny jokes about yourself or some others throughout the crowd.
Yeah, so you're basically saying you'd expect some sort of like kind of silly atmosphere, I guess, but like it sort of builds up and is fun, I guess. Like interactive is basically what you're saying, I guess.
Yeah, that is pretty much exactly what I'm saying. It would be. I expect a quite interactive magic show due to how people have become nowadays.
Yeah.
Because let's look back to how people were before. They used to just want to go and see a show and enjoy it, rather than nowadays where people want to be part of said show, have fun with the person who's at the show.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Whether it be magic or anything.
Yeah, that I kind of agree with that. I mean, like I still believe that like a lot of people are still very introverted, but I do believe that it's kind of going more to the extroverted phase. So yeah, I get what you're saying, and I actually kind of agree with that one. What do you think would be like the best? Oh, actually, first of all, before I ask this question, have you seen a lot of like magic routines in general, or a decent amount?
Well, I'd say probably about 30 episodes of Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Okay.
And
So I think
then I've seen you do magic, and I've seen three like professional paid by like big paid and done theater kind of magic.
all right. So that's good to know because my next question is, what is the most memorable part of a magic routine?
Well, see, I'd probably have to say the climax, which is kind of boring, but like, if someone is sawing someone in half and you don't know how that's done, or they just stab someone into a box and suddenly they're actually in the other box. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's just so memorable if you don't know how it's done.
Fair enough. I would think that it would be like, I mean, that's, I get that you're saying that. Like, I would think that it would be like a lot of like, the whole thing of people don't remember all the tricks, but they remember who you were and the stories it told. But like, I get what you're saying.
Well, obviously, you'll remember the person, but that's the whole performance. The most memorable part would probably have to be climax, though, because if you're focusing on the tricks throughout the whole thing, then noticeably you'll realize, wait a second, this guy was about to die.
Yeah.
That's a bit extreme, but still.
Well, I mean, there is times like that in Magic, so.
Coffee creamer.
All right, so this is going to be the last question, and I also think it's probably going to be one of the coolest ones to leave with, because especially if you give a cool answer, no pressure. So anyways, this is going to be a cool one. So
So one word answer? All right.
Yeah. Do you think Magic is a respected art?
Huh. Give me a sec. You know what? I would say by not the majority, but by many people nowadays, yes, I think it's more respected because of, things like Penn Teller Fool Us, or like people actually realizing how, entertaining it is, and people stopping, not trying to actually fool people into thinking that's actual magic, but instead just trying to entertain them. I think it's being more respected that way because they aren't thinking, oh yeah, this is magic. They're thinking more, oh yeah, this is, someone entertaining us. This is, someone having fun and showing us something new that we can't really fathom. Therefore, in that sense, rather than before, people would be like, yeah, let's prove these guys wrong. I know how this magic trick's done. Hey, he's not actually handcuffed in there. Oh, he has the key with him. No, nowadays it's like, yo, that's amazing. You gave such a good show. Your personality was so much fun.
Yeah. That's awesome that you think that, because like, there's the whole thing of like, one of the things that Jay Sankey says this a lot, and he thinks that a lot of things in Magic, one of the things that's making Magic fall far apart as an art form is the fact that people are like the whole aspect of, I'm gonna fool you and stuff like that. I remember him saying something like that in some video somewhere. But like, I get what you're saying, and it's like in the past, like a lot of people were more like, oh, I'm just here to figure out how it's done, and that's the whole point. And now, as you're saying, it's more of an actual art.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I like how you're also saying that people seem to be moving away from the stereotypes due to exposure is the other thing you're saying, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. Because being in those stereotypes makes people think that it's always the same thing. It's kind of like poetry. People will think, oh yeah, it's gonna be some old guy standing up there giving some sort of, boring rhyme-based speech, and then it'll be like some 20-year-old like wearing a polo jacket. But and same with Magic. It's not always someone in a suit. It could be just a normal guy who seems like he's just like you or me, but then ends up like blowing our minds.
Yeah. I see. I kind of get what you're saying. So anyways, I think this is probably about where we're going to end this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Go check out the Redhead Ninjas. They see some of the best content on YouTube, like Pizza's Exploding. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Prisoner TV, because I totally just copied your idea. And yeah, thanks for the idea for me to copy that you don't know that I copied yet. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, comment, like, whatever. Sean the Magical Weeaboo tuning out with the Redhead Ninja. Bye.
Have a great day.